small shows not operating. We're not feeling it yet, but we're going to feel the pain of the pandemic over the next year, year and a half, with some of these small shows not operating. You know, when the world was normal, there were shows every weekend all over the world, multiple shows every weekend, pumping out, you know, young talent. We're going to feel this by the end of next year.
Uncertainty. It's a word that touched us all in 2020. From not knowing if our loved ones could get sick, to not knowing when, or if ever, we could return to our jobs and be with our friends and family as we had before. If our communities would ever be the same. But while uncertainty spread its anxious haze across the nation, there were those who chose to go forward, to adapt, to push through despite setbacks, to find a way to make it happen. That, after all, is what mixed martial arts is all about. Facing the fear and walking it down. Last year, most regional MMA shows were forced to shutter their doors. But in typical show-me state fashion, Fighting Alliance Championship showed up, did the work, and continued to provide a platform for the next contenders, men and women who have strived and sacrificed and bled to make a name in the sport. Their dedication inspired us all and gave us something certain to hold on to. That even when the odds are stacked against us, we will find a way. Now, with hope and change on the horizon, the fighters who face the uncertainty head-on are gathering steam. They are stronger because of the challenge. They are braver because of the fear. And when the dust finally settles, the men and women of Fighting Alliance Championship will find themselves closer to the finish line than they ever imagined, because they never stopped. Fighting Alliance Championship.
Fighting Alliance Championship is live tonight, coming to you from downtown, just outside of downtown Kansas City. We're at Cable Dahmer Arena in Independence, Missouri. Coming up in 2 hours from now, live worldwide on UFC Fight Pass, it's our main card presented by Jackson County Tow. First, the prelims. We send it into the ring with Jason Nivens.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Fighting Alliance Championship 7, Onama versus Plazola, live on UFC Fight Pass. These bouts are under the supervision and control of the Missouri Office of Athletics, Tim Lukanoff, Executive Director. These bouts are promoted by Cage Side Promotions. The matchmaker is Joe Wooster. The judges working tonight's bouts are Henry Gary, Fernando Marquez, Michael Munoz. The referees are Zach Tybris, Robert Hastings, and Nick Nolte. The timekeeper and counting knockdowns is Sarah Nolte, and the physicians are Dr. Kenneth Butler and Dr. Michael Roach. Fighting out of the blue corner, Jimi Hendrix. Fighting out of the red corner, Stephen Heston.
Stephen Heston making his way towards the cage, our opening bout of FAC 7. Glad you're with us on YouTube and MMAFutures.com for our prelims. 6 AMI bouts in total headed your way, and again, just under 2 hours from now. That's 9 p.m. U.S. Canadian Central Time, local time here in Independence, Missouri. We begin our main card, 7 bouts on the pro side. The only way to watch it is on UFC Fight Pass. So glad that you are with us with UFC middleweight Julian Marquez. I am Sean Wheelock, and Julian, we begin amateur catchweights, 175 pounds. Jimi Hendrix versus Stephen Heston, who is about to step into the cage.
Man, I'm excited for this one right now just because we've got the big boys starting us off for the night. We want excitement. We want pleasure, I guess you want to say it. That's why we're tuning in. And these boys are coming to bring the heat. Again, we're beginning amateurs, but they're coming here. They're both nervous. They're both scared, but they're both ready to get that victory.
No pressure being on worldwide TV.
None at all.
To get our opening bout of the evening started, we send it back to Jason Nivens.
Our first bout tonight is brought to you by Tent Masters, helping all the good people of Kansas City do it in the dark for over 30 years. Fighting out of the blue corner, Jimi Hendrix! Fighting out of the red corner, Stephen Heston! Your rep for this fight, Zach Tybris. Let's make some noise!
Our tale of the tape is presented by Tintmaster.
Man, if you look here, we have the reach advantage is going over here to Heston. I am excited to see how he plays that one out.
Round number 1. Black and white trunks for Jimi Hendrix. And that is his real name. That is not a cage name. Solid black trunks for Stephen Heston.
That's a pretty unique name, right?
And he did come out to a Jimi Hendrix song on the walkout.
I really like
S-grip on the body lock. Looking to turn his Heston. That's nicely done. Now putting Hendrix's back against the cage. There's the knee.
I like what they're doing here when they're on the cage. Both these guys are trying to keep it in a neutral. But if you look at Hendrix, he's actually trying to bring his leg on the outside to catch his Heston's outside leg to get the trip, to get him off balance. But Heston's doing a good job of pushing Hendrix's hips away from him, which causes that reverse right there.
Really good turn by Heston. The knee, Hendrix looking to turn right back. Looking for the calf kick. Now the knee to the thigh with the left knee. Well done by Stephen Heston. Back to the S-grip body lock for Jimi Hendrix, looking to turn, but has his right hip parked against the fence. Short left to the body and another from Heston.
Heston's doing great. As you see, he's bringing his leg in between Hendrix, and that's causing the split, which has to limit the balance that Hendrix is able to use. Now, what he's gonna wanna do is bring one leg and try to pull out Hendrix's leg anyway. It could be kicking the inside leg or the outside leg. Oh, but Hendrix doing good on the reversal.
Looking for a level change now is Hendrix. Hendrix trying to drive through. Thought about perhaps stepping out for an outside trip. Couldn't find it. Back to the center of the cage we go. Kick not getting through from Heston.
This is where that reach advantage is going to work as long as he keeps pumping his jab, Heston. But Hendrix over here is looking like he's wanting to finish this. He's throwing power shots. And it also looks like the weight of the wrestling they had is wearing on Hendrix right now.
Snap jab from the southpaw stance for Heston. Good straight right hand coming from Hendrix from the orthodox stance. Back to the inside. Now 50 seconds remaining round number 1. This and all AMI bouts tonight scheduled for 3 rounds.
Nice little outside head kick by Heston. Good jab work as he's doing there. It's keeping Hendrix, you know, respectful. He's got to keep his hands up. He's got to sit there and pick his shots. He can't just throw power. Ooh, nice.
Short right hand landed from Hendrix after the two fighters traded teeps. Heston continuing to throw almost a savant-like kick with the toes extended from Heston.
Great combo right there. That 1-2, I think, rocked Hendrix. And as long as he is usher going, but not below his load, he might get the promising finish at the beginning.
Heston continuing the throw, landing the left hand. Hendrix backs against the cage. There's the uppercut, another rear right uppercut. Referee Zach Tybris taking a really close look. Final seconds, round number 1. Heston trying the finish. More shots from Heston. There's the bell. And we will move to round 2.
What a first round opening fight. Let's get this going.
Again, we welcome all of you watching online across the U.S., Canada, and worldwide, MMAFutures.com, and on MMA Futures YouTube channel.
This right here, these boys are going to need to breathe a little bit. They're going at it, you know, for, you know, amateurs, they're actually doing very good at controlling the pace on both sides. You know, the cardio is now kicking in. This is where you're going to see how their team trains, how they train. They need to make sure they calm their breathing down, because this pace they're going at is definitely a flyweight pace and not a welterweight pace.
Seconds out, called by referee Zach Tybris, set for round number 2. See the abrasion on the forehead over the right eye on the face of Jimi Hendrix. Bouncing the step of Heston.
Heston looks ready. I like this. I like how he's going. Giving that pep in his step is definitely going to mess with the mental of Hendrix.
Round 2 underway. You heard the big chopping kick to the body. The head kick partially getting through from Heston. Right hand just misses from Hendrix. There's a kick of his own. Toes slapping across the face. There's that teep. Looking to answer the teep, thinking about a level change. Just a push off, though, from Hendrix. Got in, caught within two minds there. Wasn't sure if he wanted to kick or shoot. Wound up pushing back.
He's doing a good job using all of his arsenal, his legs, his hands, you know, his high kicks, low kicks, teeps, and it's causing Hendrix to not be able to pull the trigger. He's only throwing fundamentally 1 or 2 punch at a time. He's not really throwing anything outside of the last combo that Heston throws. So you see he's throwing the teep. Next thing he's going to want to throw is a kick.
Those teeps continuing to land for Stephen Heston. Head kick doesn't get through, but Hendrix playing a lot of defense right now. Swing and a miss with a wide right hook to the body from Hendrix. More volume from Heston. Head kick again blocked. There's that teep, and that lands big.
That looks like he hit the liver right there, and he put it back into the well. I love how he's going up to the upper body, going to the lower body. He's mixing up, not just trying to take him out with one big old punch. He's mixing it up well, going to the well, going to the head.
You see referee Zach Tybris stepping a little bit closer, keeping a very close eye now on Jimi Hendrix. Hendrix taking a lot of shots, heavy volume from Stephen Heston.
Hendrix is doing a good job of blocking this, but if he moves his feet, he's going to be able to not take this damage. But right now, the ref's probably going to start looking at it.
And that is it. Too much volume, too much pace, too much technique. The win for Stephen Heston. High motor from Stephen Heston, an opening AMI bout of the night. That was strong.
Here's your Major Mac Pack replay. Look at these bombs that Heston's throwing. Uppercuts, hooks, lefts, right. He's just pouring on them, looking to finish the fight, but he's composed this whole time. Those kicks added up to the body. They added up to the head. It was beautiful, but it just, that pressure, that relentlessness, and that volume is what got the job done for Heston.
Here's Jason Nivens.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this bout has ended. 1 minute and 47 seconds of the second round. Your winner by TKO strikes out of the red corner, Stephen Heston!
Stephen Heston getting the teeps going, especially in round number 2, through the big teep to the body, which backed off Hendrix, and then unloading with the right hands to the finish.
Beautiful setup, beautiful taking out the wind, and then finishing, you know, with the strikes up top. This is one thing that's going to definitely lead into a good, promising career, is mixing up your arsenal. Good job by Heston.
The winner by way of second round TKO, Stephen Heston defeats Jimi Hendrix.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, bringing to the ring your next fighter, out of the blue corner, Trenton Morris.
second AMI bout of the evening. Welterweights. This is FAC 7. We're at Cable Dahmer Arena, just east of downtown Kansas City, Missouri, in Independence. Trenton Morris from Weston, Missouri, be the first to enter the cage for this AMI 170-pound bout.
And his opponent this evening, fighting out of the red corner, Tyler Trout.
Big ovation for Tyler. Welterweights, Trenton Morris versus Tyler Trout. Time now for the numbers. Our tale of the tape is presented by Bikeworks.
And if you look here, Tyler Trout is having a half-inch reach decrease, and he is a little bit older. That age could be a factor in this.
Back we go to Jason Nivens.
Our next bout is brought to you by Bikeworks, your #1 source for all your motorcycle parts, service, audio, and customization needs, located in Liberty, Missouri. Fighting out of the blue corner, Trenton Morris! Fighting out of the red corner, Tyler Trout! Your ref is Robert Hastings!
The bell in round #1. Black trunks for Trenton Morris.
Oh,
Black, gold, and gray trunks for Tyler Trout. Looking for the takedown immediately, Tyler Trout. Morris keeping his feet. Looking for the inside trip now is Trout. Morris with the inside knee gets the separation.
Morris looks to be very loose as standing up, as you can see. But Tyler Trout is definitely coming forward, putting that combo 1-2, and I like that about it. He's just keeping it fundamental. He's very good on the ground. He's very high belt and knows what to do on the ground. I feel like Morris wants to keep this standing, as you see.
There's a big right hand from Trout. Tonight's fight clock is presented by Hoy Excavating. Left hand right back from Morris. Trout walking and loading up the right hand, lands it there, lands a second right hand. There's the shot, looking for the single leg now is Morris.
That was a beautiful transition.
Stepping over, trying to get back mount now. Both hooks in, well done. Time from Trenton Morris.
Trenton Morris had a beautiful transition on that takedown to the back. But right now what's doing good, Tyler Trout needs to do is he sees as he's fighting that bottom hook, he actually needs to focus on getting that top hook out and belly himself down. That's going to knock off Morris. But right now he's letting Morris hang out way too long.
Looking for rear naked choke in a crank position. You see a really close look by the excellent referee, Robert Hastings. Hands not together, just in a crank position.
Yeah, he's just holding on to him, just kind of like let the time pass. But if you look, Morris is very high on, Tyler's back. And again, Tyler, all he needs to do is just clear that top hook and go right down. That's going to allow him to free up his body. And all he needs to do is bring his knees to the ground. Because again, Morris is way too high right now.
105 remaining, round number 1. Fast start for Tyler Trout on the feet. Morris now trying to lock in the rear naked choke. Fighting the hands, that is deeper. It's still not under the chin, almost in a smother position. The hand fighting from Tyler Trout. Losing his grip now as Morris trying to reset. Both hooks in.
Keeping his composure. He's doing good.
Now to the gable grip, squeezing very hard, trying to slide under the chin. Cut in the brow of Tyler Trout. A lot of squeeze, but still really on the jawline. More of a crank, getting a little deeper now. That one hook in very deep for Morris. 25 seconds remaining, round number 1. Trout trying to hold on. The bell cannot come soon enough for Tyler Trout. Morris continuing the work for that rear naked choke. Just a lot of squeeze on that. Excellent hand fighting from Trout defensively. Morris now transitioning, trying to cross the arms now, flattening out Tyler Trout. Final seconds, round number 1. There is the bell.
Wow, that's exciting right there. Morris did a great job holding on the back. One thing he did is that he went for the kill and he kept holding on to it. He could have very well burned his arms out, that if he gets in that position again, it's not going to be as dominant. But he did great at taking the back, took that transition from the single leg to the back, all the way and putting both hooks in. He held high, he held dominant, he did great. But awesome job by, Tyler Trout by defending that off underneath his chin, keeping his composure, not freaking out. You can tell he has heart, he wants it, and we're in for a fight right now.
Our fight replay is presented by Major Pack.
Look how deep that is right there. Tyler Trout bringing up both hands, trying to pull down, and he's just doing everything correct. Wow, man, this is exciting for a first round, second fight.
Referee Robert Hastings starts round number 2.
If I were Tyler Trout, I would want to take my shot right at the beginning just to put dominance in there and get that comfortability that Morris has. But Morris is doing good, keeping the range, backing up, keeping those jabs going.
Trout swinging big.
Ooh.
Left on the counter from Morris. Morris feinting on the level change. There's the head kick. Another big right. Left. Strikes now. Trout looking to finish.
Trout's just going for the kill.
Massive shots and done is it.
Wow.
Come from behind win for Tyler Trout in round number 2.
Wow, that was intense right there. We watched that unfold right in front of us. That head kick led everything into that finish. Amazing. This is our second fight, and it's just setting up the card for an exciting, impactful night.
Trenton Morris in round number 1 put so much effort in the choke.
Right.
And Trout taking full advantage with the striking.
Tyler Trout's over the top of him, just throwing bombs. He knew that he had his opponent hurt, and he threw everything in the kitchen sink to get this finish. And man, that head kick was beautiful. It just tinked off the top of his head past the guard, and it dropped the hands. When he landed his foot after the kick, he threw a quick right hand. That was the beginning of the end for Morris.
Disappointment, no doubt, for Trenton Morris. He felt he had the fight won. had Tyler Trout flattened out, both hooks in, continually fighting for the choke. Excellent defense, excellent hand fighting from Trout, making it to round number 2 and then taking full advantage with his striking for the come-from-behind win.
Ladies and gentlemen, this bout has ended. 32 seconds of the second round. Your winner by TKO strikes out of the red corner, Tyler Trout!
Julian, you and I talked about this earlier today off air. MMA is a difficult sport to come from behind and win. We just saw Tyler Trout do that.
It was impressive, that composure he had, especially being in probably the worst position in MMA, having your back take with a rear naked choke in, and it was great. And he came back in the second round to show that he belongs in this octagon.
The winner by way of second round TKO, Tyler Trout defeats Trenton Morris, and again, the finish to the fight.
Man, I just love that right hand that set it up, and the moment he saw that there was an inch of him winning, he went after the kill, and he saw the blood and took it all.
Elation for Tyler Trout, and the big ovation as he exits the FAC cage.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, introducing your next fighters. Your first one, fighting out of the blue corner, COLLEN.
There is COLLEN Divers making his way towards the FAC cage.
His opponent this evening, fighting out of the red corner, Alejandro Gomez.
Big smile on the face of the Shawnee, Kansas-based Alejandro Gomez. Amateur bantamweights, COLLEN Collen Divers versus Alejandro Gomez. Our tale of the tape is presented by Dream Machines.
We got to get another reach advantage over here. Divers is going to have almost a 3.5-inch reach advantage. Could this be the range fight that we need, or are we going to have it up and close?
This bout is brought to you by Dream Machines, the leader in on or off-road fun. Missouri's #1 Polaris dealership. Fighting out of the blue corner, COLLEN Diver! And fighting out of the red corner, Alejandro Gomez! Your ref is Nick Nolte. Let's go!
The bell in round #1. Tonight's fight clock is presented by Hoy Excavating. Red trunks for Collen Divers, black trunks for Alejandro Gomez.
Divers are throwing these naked kicks. That could be a issue in the road, but I mean,
Looking for the collapse double, and he hits it just like that. Alejandro Gomez going to work, stepping over immediately in the full mount. Big shots. Referee Nick Nolte clearing fingers and toes out of the cage. Now rolling, looking for an ankle lock, couldn't find it. Big swings right back, looking for the shot. Big takedown with emphasis.
wow, what a beautiful like sequence right there. Alejandro's doing good, but this could be that Von Flue choke. Look, he has it underneath the shoulder, his arm locked.
That's exactly what Gomez is going for. The Von Flue driving his left shoulder into the carotids of Collen Divers.
He's going. I think it's tight.
That is very tight on the Von Flue. Now losing, repositioning on the scramble into the front choke position, immediately taking the back, stepping over, one hook in slick from Gomez. Right hands now from Alejandro Gomez.
Alejandro's under the chin over here from what it looks like. He's in deep. He needs to secure his next hook. He's in tight.
See referee Nick Nolte taking a look.
Oh, he does need to bridge.
That's just one hand though on the choke. So tough to get a one-handed rear naked choke finish. That's what Gomez was looking for, trying to punch with the free hand. Back to his feet, well done from Divers. Big right hand over the top. Divers coming in with the left hand. Huge right hand now, driving through with a shot of his own. Back and forth we go.
Wow, how beautiful this is. Right now, Divers is trying to get everything back together. And, oh, that is...
Looking for the guillotine. Now it's a closed guard. Gomez looking to finish very tight and popping his head free as Collen Divers.
Man, you can't really get anything off because these guys are just changing the guard left and right, showing high-level grappling skills on both sides. Divers is doing a good job by just coddling Gomez's head and just holding him there in the guard. This is going to help slow the pace down, slow all the cobwebs that he just was in with those two back-to-back rear naked, or those back-to-back guillotines.
Closed guard now for Gomez, working off of his back.
Gomez is doing a
slide through, looking for an armbar, possibly a triangle. Now thinking triangle.
That's in tight. Gomez needs to create an angle, get on the side, keep pulling on his shin. He has it locked.
Much tighter now, pulling down on the head indeed is Alejandro Gomez. 20 seconds remaining. Divers trying to slam his way out. That might make it even tighter. The arm now trapped in as well. Final seconds, round #1. Gomez looking to finish on the triangle. A lot of squeeze. Divers trying to hold on. The armbar in there as well. The armbar is lost. The triangle is still on. That is the end of an outstanding round #1.
Wow, what an impressive round from both of these guys. Alejandro seems to be just one step ahead when it comes to the jiu-jitsu game, but Divers is over here. He's very fundamentally sound on the defense. He knows where he's at on the body. He knows how to move around. He's actually doing a very, very intelligent grappling form. But Alejandro just needs to slow it down. He's kind of rushing on all these, techniques. He's landing them, but he just needs to settle and breathe one quick second. If we look at this replay right here, Divers did a great trip over the top and got Alejandro down. They both scrambled to get up, put a combination in. Alejandro is just powerful. Right here on this Von Flue choke, he had him almost finished, and it was just he's rushing it. He's trying to go for the next move. Let's slow it down, and he's going to get this finish, I believe.
Tonight's fight replays are presented by Major Pack, set for round number 2. That was a phenomenally paced round number 1.
Man, look at Alejandro. He looks pumped and ready for round 2, and Divers is kind of looking, you know, he looks kind of nervous in this round right now.
To round number 2 we go. Sporting touch of hands, right back to it. Very Taekwondo-esque stance for Collen Divers. Immediately coming to the inside is Gomez.
Ooh,
on the throw, that was done. A lateral drop into a throw from Divers.
That was definitely good. You know, he's getting backed up, and he did exactly what he needs to do.
Looking armbar now from the bottom is Gomez, and that is tight. Looking to go belly down, trying to elevate his Divers. You see the extension on the elbow. Very tight. Basing on his head is Gomez. All sorts of squeeze, extremely tight. Well defended by Divers, still has not stepped over and cleared the armbar danger.
And he's in danger, and I like how Gomez is just extending his hips, keeping it crossed. You know, the traditional style where they said don't cross your legs, this is what's keeping Divers stuck in Gomez's potentially dangerous armbar. Now he's got his hips down. This is very deep. This is very...
There is huge squeeze. You see the pressure on the elbow. Continuing to turn. More torque. Full credit to Collen Divers on the flexibility, but he is just parked, not looking to defend, just looking to withstand.
Oh, wow, that looks really crazy, but...
Now into an old school hammerlock position.
If he grabs that right hand, if Gomez grabs that right hand and pushes it, he has a Kimura on it, but he just released it. I mean, Divers, you got to give it to him, man. He's not giving up on this. He's continuing pushing the pace. He's trying to get out. He doesn't want to lose, and I like this.
One hook in, now turning, looking rear naked choke. In the last sequence, Judo Jean LaBelle would be smiling. That was an old school hammerlock on the attempt. A lot of submissions being thrown up by Alejandro Gomez. 110 remaining round number 2.
It's very difficult to be in Divers' position whenever you're having defend after defend after defend, you know, these tight submissions. And, you know, it's stressful. But Gomez is putting it on him left and right, going after the punches, going after the submissions. You know, just again, he needs to slow it down. Look, he has his hooks. Now he needs to get position. This is what's going to help him solidify the finish. But look, he's already right onto a submission before he has his positions.
Looking rear naked choke again. Gomez does not have his arms X through, but getting the right forearm under the chin of Divers. Divers continuing to defend submissions, can defend no longer. There's the tap, and there is the win for Alejandro Gomez.
That was beautiful, man. Look, it's very difficult to defend, especially a plethora of, you know, submissions being thrown at you, and Gomez showing his jiu-jitsu game. We had arm bars, triangles, we had sweeps, we had rear naked chokes. I don't even know, omoplatas, hammerlocks. Like, what more can you have in just literally 6 minutes of a fight?
That was a really fun fight. Disappointment for Collen Divers. He showed a lot of heart, a lot of grit, and he is a tough fighter to submit. Very tough fighter all around, you know? And this is the thing, Gomez has a bright future. Once he starts calming down and being able to control the pace, control the round, control the fight, it's gonna help out a lot. As you see right here, Gomez is on top with a rear naked choke, and he sunk that in. It's not a traditional style where you get both hooks underneath the hips. He had one hook over the shoulder, which kind of threw out Divers a little bit, but impressive victory, impressive submission. Congratulations, Gomez. To Jason Nivens we go.
Ladies and gentlemen, this bout has ended. 2 minutes and 31 seconds of the second round. Your winner by tap out, rear naked choke, out of the red corner, Alejandro Gomez!
Alejandro Gomez, Julie. Berlin must have felt frustration when he had the belly down armbar, continued to reposition, turning on the wrist, could not find it, went to an omoplata, a hammerlock, finally gets the second round submission finish. Divers, very difficult again to submit, showing a lot of heart, a lot of character. Gomez just absolutely too much skill on the ground for Divers in this fight.
This fight's a good fight for any fighter to watch, to see how you implement a good submission and get out of a submission. Divers had a beautiful sweep right here. I don't think Gomez was ready for it, but they were scrappy going after it. This huge slam Gomez had was beautiful into the Von Flue choke to finish out round one. Was very impressive, but this armbar was nasty. It almost looked like his arm popped. He got his hips underneath, he got everything locked in, but he just went from one transition to the next, which ultimately led him to the fantastic finish that he had, the modified rear naked choke, where he had over the top, and it looked like he was gonna go for a triangle in that. Beautiful display of jiu-jitsu. Shout out to his coaches and his team, and amazing performance by both these guys.
Did you see the belly down armbar attempt? So much pressure on that right elbow of Collen Divers, able to withstand the submission attempt from Alejandro Gomez. The winner by way of second round submission, Alejandro Gomez defeats Collen Divers.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, time to bring your next fighters out. Your first fighter out of the blue corner, Ralph Hernandez.
Ralph Hernandez, set for this AMI lightweight bout.
And his opponent fighting out of the red corner, DEVANTE Frencher.
And there is DEVANTE Frencher. AMI 155-pounders, our tale of the tape is presented by KC Tech Systems. Ralph Hernandez versus DEVANTE Frencher.
Man, this is wild right here. DEVANTE Frencher has the biggest reach advantage on the card tonight, and I wonder if this is gonna play into the card.
This bout is brought to you by KC Tech Systems, the team that specializes in custom home theater, smart home automation, and outdoor audio, video, and lighting. Fighting
Our Emmy card continues. The bell in round number 1. Tonight's fight clock is presented by Hoy Excavating. Black trunks for Ralph Hernandez, black and white trunks for Devante Frencher.
Hernandez and Frencher both have been in this octagon here at FAC multiple times. They both put on a show, and they're both super powerful and strong.
Big takedown off of the double leg. Getting under the hips is Frencher. Now working out of the open half guard of Hernandez.
Hernandez needs to clear his legs out. He's sitting there holding onto the head. He's got to either bail and put his knees to the ground to stand up or try to fight the jiu-jitsu. And Frencher's doing a good job by controlling the hips, locking his hands behind the hips and pulling Hernandez close and tight. The butterfly sweep isn't really too much because the pressure that Frencher's putting on top is preventing Hernandez from doing any sweeps.
Frencher right now sitting in that half butterfly. Controlling the arms of Frencher. Frencher not able to base up and ground and pound. You see 2 short right hands. Frencher trying to clear his right arm.
Frencher needs to do this as tripod up. This is going to clear out that underhook, or that it's going to clear out that butterfly, and it's going to relieve the pressure to allow him to move left or right.
Half butterfly again, a little deeper now for Hernandez. Looking for the sweep, can't find it. Good base up on the left knee from Frencher.
You can hear the corner of Frencher telling him to posture up, which is very good. It's going to help prevent any type of triangle that's going to get thrown up or any type of off-balancing sweep that Hernandez is bringing into this. But again, we need Frencher to move left or right. It's going to help open up the hips of Hernandez, but Hernandez is doing a good job of controlling the hands of Frencher.
Referee Zach Tybris being very patient. No calls for action, allowing the 2 fighters to work on the ground. And almost in what's called an Iranian in some circles in wrestling, the under. In kayfabe it would be called a pile driver position, but escaped. Now taking the back is Ralph Hernandez. Big left hands. More big shots now from Hernandez, getting under the arm of Frencher.
Hernandez is very intelligent by going after those punches. He knows that Devante is a very difficult person to take down, so he mixed up the punches to throw him off, and it definitely threw Frencher for a different spin.
Big takedown. Frencher right back to his feet. Now the transition after the punches, looking for the single leg, trying to go high crotch now, Ralph Hernandez. Hernandez sucking forward the knee, getting the takedown again. Hernandez trying to stay heavy. Frencher right back to his feet. 15 seconds remaining in a very good round number 1. More left hands for Ralph Hernandez.
Hernandez doing a good job by keeping heavy on the power points of Frencher. See, Frencher, if he's leaning back, Hernandez is pulling back. If he's leaning forward, Hernandez is pushing forward. And this is keeping the balance of Hernandez on top of him very equal. And that's why it's difficult for Frencher to get off.
That is the end of round number 1. Get a reminder coming up. In just over 1 hour, 10 minutes from now, it is our main card, FAC 7. 7 fights in total on our pro card, our main card this evening from just outside of Kansas City in Independence, Missouri. The only way to watch is on UFC Fight Pass. Again, we welcome all of you watching our prelims on MMAFutures.com and MMA Futures YouTube channel.
This is a great round for both guys. You know, Frencher came out and got that takedown, did really good job of controlling, but he needs to open up a little bit more when he's on top, because as you saw, Hernandez, the moment he grabbed an inch, he took that for an entire mile, throwing punches and dominating against the cage and against, you know, the scorecards on that one.
Round number 2. Looking again for the single leg. Trying the treetop, can't do it as Hernandez. Good bounce from Frencher. Now the far side ankle pick. That was slick by Hernandez.
Hernandez has a really good pedigree of wrestling outside of MMA, and he's utilizing it right here, right now, in the best way possible. As you see the term, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. He realizes that if he grabs around the waist of Frencher, he's able to control him majority of the round, and that's what he's doing. He's hanging on, not going for any too flashy. He's going there, collecting points, collecting stats.
Look away punch lands from Frencher. Hernandez continuing to bury his left knee into that left thigh of Frencher.
Frencher needs to get one underhook somewhere, get his arm underneath, and try to pummel. He knows that the moment he does that, Hernandez is going to go down for a shot to go for the double leg, but he has to keep moving. If he doesn't try to fight his hands off, it's going to be very difficult to, you know, break free and get anything going.
Looking for a suplex, getting high, still getting the takedown is Hernandez. Now trying to take the back with one hook in. Well done by Frencher, getting back to his feet. Again, the knee to the thigh. Hernandez limiting time, limiting space, back to the single leg. Now the separation. Frencher stepping forward. Switch of stances, switch right back from southpaw to orthodox from Frencher. Straight right hand, step in left, just misses from Hernandez.
It looks right now Hernandez has looked to be a little tired from all the wrestling exchanges. It takes a lot of energy out of you to try to wrestle someone, especially on the cage, especially someone as relentless as Frencher. And Frencher, that great job of moving away from the takedown. What he's doing, keep on pushing the head down. That is going to create space. As you see, Hernandez is tired, so he's just going to hang on the ankles. The moment it breaks free, you're going to watch Frencher get up and throw some sort of combination.
Frencher breaking free.
Boom, combination.
Now working with the jab to the body with 55 seconds remaining, round number 2. Hernandez trying to get back in on the shot, couldn't find it. Frencher a feint on the level change. Right hand coming right back into the inside is Hernandez. Looking for the takedown from the single. There's the far side ankle pick again. That is so slick from Hernandez. Twice now he's done that in this fight.
Hernandez is doing a good job. He's doing what he should do, is milk the time away. You can tell he's tired. He's not trying to throw punches. He's trying to hang on and be a wet blanket on top of Frencher. Frencher needs to get his knees to the ground and base up and explode up with all his power that he can. Which he's doing right now. It's doing great. Now he's got to turn and face, break a free, and get this fight going.
Level change attempt again for Hernandez. He had a takedown. Final seconds of round number 1. Trying to do that. Final seconds of round number 2. This is a really good fight. That takedown after the bell. Ralph Hernandez versus DEVANTE Frencher, as we will move to the 3rd and final round.
Look, Hernandez is doing a fantastic job of keeping that wrestling against the cage and controlling Frencher the whole time. That is what he needs to do to get this victory. He's up 2 rounds in my opinion, and him controlling on the cage is everything right now. But Frencher needs to come back. He needs to sit there and realize, all right, this is what he wants to do. We're gonna have to throw multiple punches, move your feet, bring your knees up to try to scare Hernandez to make sure he doesn't, you know, come and engage for those takedowns. Because as you see in the beginning of the 1st round, this is Frencher with the takedown, and Hernandez was being calm and stuff. But in the 2nd round, Hernandez put him against the cage. We have to stay away from the cage if you're Frencher.
Tonight's fight replays are presented by Major Pack. The 3rd and final round is upon us. AMI 155-pounders, Ralph Hernandez versus DEVANTE Frencher. It's been outstanding thus far. There's this shot, nicely defended by Hernandez. Frencher trying to take this fight to the ground.
This is what Frencher needs to do, is keep that punches going. Hernandez is tired. He's going to sit there and push as much as he can against the cage to milk the time away. But as long as Frencher moves his feet, it's going to be hard for Hernandez to plant and get the takedown secure.
Looking for the single leg again is Hernandez. Twice already in this fight from this position. He's hit that far side ankle pick that's open for him right now. Right now looking for the single leg, and Hernandez with some tenacity gets it. Half butterfly now for Frencher. Now opens up into the open guard. Left hand's coming through from Hernandez. Now to the right hand, trying to base up the kick away from Frencher. Right back in is Hernandez, now looking to take the back.
Right there, that Russian helped out Frencher a lot. Hernandez is being smart. When he gets the opportunity to throw punches, he's going to throw punches. When he gets the opportunity to rest and hang, he's resting and hanging. He's very, very smart. He's getting this done the way he needs to get it done. But Frencher, if he wants any point to win this fight, he has to keep his feet moving. He has to fight the hands, break free, and throw volume punches. He's out.
Looking for this separation is Frencher, and he gets it with 1:30 remaining, 3rd and final round.
See, he has to throw multiple punches, high, low. Throw with all your might, throw with all your worth. If you want to come back, your chances are a finish, and that's the only way you're getting here.
Near side ankle pick this time for Hernandez. Back to the inside.
Hernandez doing a good job by grabbing the ankle of Frencher. That right there is preventing him from moving his hips around. Controlling the hips on the bottom guy is the best way to control him throughout the whole entire fight.
Hernandez walking up the back of Devante Frencher. Tried to get that far side, that right hook in, couldn't do it. Thinking rear naked choke, difficult from this position. Well defended by Frencher. You see blocking that near side hook coming in. Big takedown on the suplex for Ralph Hernandez.
Hernandez doing a great job pushing and pulling, twisting and turning. He is sitting there wanting to win this fight. He has 100% effort into everything that he's doing, and he's doing it smart, play by play. He's not trying to rush anything.
More right hands. Bigger right hands now. You see referee Zach Tybris taking a closer look, stepping in, looking at those punches. Now basing up is Ralph Hernandez. Almost a smother with the right glove into the face of Devante Frencher. Walking up the body in the final seconds of this fight. Hernandez has really limited the time and space of Frencher on the ground. Another right hand, one more just before the bell, and that is the end of the fight.
Man, what a great fight by Hernandez. You know, he controlled the clock, he controlled his opponent, he controlled the space the whole time. You can tell that he was tired coming in the second round from grappling, but it just wore on Frencher and ultimately built it up and built up the confidence. And Hernandez got the victory just by being patient, smart, and controlled.
Our first bout tonight on the AMI portion of this stacked FAC 7 card to go to the judges' scorecards. Tonight's judges have been assigned by the Missouri Office of Athletics. It's well fought from both Ralph Hernandez and Devante Frencher. Hernandez showing a lot of variety, a lot of creativity, and a lot of aggression on the ground. We send it to Jason Nivens.
Ladies and gentlemen, Judge Henry Geary scores the bout 30-27. Judge Fernando Marquez scores the bout 30-27. And Judge Michael Munoz scores the bout 30-27. Your winner by unanimous decision, out of the blue corner, Ralph Hernandez!
30-27, 3 rounds to none across the board. And that is a win with emphasis for Ralph Hernandez.
That was a beautiful game plan by his team, and it was a beautiful game plan by himself executed. You know, it was a tough fight. Frencher is a game opponent, but as you see here, regardless if Frencher took down Hernandez, he was calm, composed, and whenever he had the opportunity to take down Frencher, he was taking him down left and right, controlling, striking when he needed to strike. You know, this lift to drop was perfect. You know, that's a high-level grappling technique right there, is lifting, turning the corner. You know, he hung on, he leaned, he pulled, he tripped. He did everything he could to keep an efficient takedown going, and Frencher right here, or Hernandez right here with the victory.
The winner, by way of unanimous decision, Ralph Hernandez defeats Devante Frencher.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, your next fighter, out of the blue corner, Michael Banks.
Michael Banks from nearby Kansas City, Missouri.
Jefferson.
Look of all business on the face of Stefan Jefferson as he makes his way towards the FAC cage. Time for the numbers. Our tale of the tape is presented by Jackson County Tow. Michael Banks versus Stefan Jefferson.
Right here, everything's identical all the way up to the age. Stefan's a little bit older, which could that maturity give him the edge in this one?
This middleweight bout is brought to you by Jackson County Tow. Been serving the Metro for over 20 years. Big or small, we're always on our toes. Fighting out of the blue corner, Michael Banks! Fighting out of the red corner, Stefan Jefferson! Your referee for this fight is Robert Hastings.
Round number one. Tonight's fight clock is presented by Hoy Excavating. Black and blue trunks for Michael Banks. Black and gray trunks for Stefan Jefferson.
We got the big boys in here. I love this. I love whenever you got two strikers sitting right there with an open stance.
Big swings from Banks. Walked right into that takedown. Now closed guard. Jefferson takes top position.
Jefferson doing a good job of just kind of controlling right here on the ground. He's keeping everything driving forward, bringing him to the cage. Being able to control the bottom guy is very difficult. As you see, you believe that, you believe that Banks has the control, but Stefan is actually hooking the top of the head, hooking the bottom, and able to position himself in for these strikes that you see happening.
A very low closed guard held by Michael Banks, now walking up his guard. See the overhooks from the bottom. It's a defensive position, but it's limiting Jefferson's ability to throw. Jefferson trying to stack. There's the left hand partially getting through. Open guard now for Michael Banks. Banks staying active with his bottom game. Short right hand from flat on his back. Very patient is Stefan Jefferson, working from this open guard. Again, trying to walk up the guard is Michael Banks. Banks trying to grab both ankles, thought about it, then thought against it.
Stefan needs to get his hand off the ground. That's going to allow, there he goes, right there.
Banks was posturing for the armbar, back to his feet. Now caught in a suplex position, Banks takes himself to the canvas. Into the gable grip for Stefan Jefferson, trying to stay very heavy. Banks looking now, guillotine. Tough to hit it from this angle, trying to step over. You see the positioning, looking very closely as referee Robert Hastings. A little tighter on the guillotine now. Off of the neck, Banks still fishing for it. Now that's under the throat.
Banks is keeping his body flat, which is not curling it up. If he curls his head to the back of Stefan, it's going to make it tight, but keeping it flat like that didn't allow him to get the leverage he needed to get the finish. But Stefan is doing a great job of controlling the bottom hit to not allow him to Banks to base up.
Banks was trying to roll for a mount of guillotine, couldn't find it. Now gable grips from the back. Full mount now for Stefan Jefferson, trying to turn defense into offense, and he does it on cue. Banks turns, now back mount, one hook in for Stefan Jefferson. Now both hooks in, and there's the full back mount. Now Jefferson thinking rear naked choke. Has his arms X through.
You know, it's tough to see right here, but he's very, oh, he got the tap.
There is the tap, and there is the win. The rear naked choke victory for Stefan Jefferson.
Yeah, it was very good right there. Stefan faced a little adversity being on bottom, throwing out the guillotine or getting the guillotine put on him. He remained calm. He sat there and knew that he just had to inch his way into the position. Once he got to the position, he locked in a submission, extended his opponent out, and ended up getting the classic rear naked choke. Good composure, good knowledge of a fighter, and this is going to be a bright future for this one.
Michael Banks definitely had his moments on the ground in that fight. You see a look of bemusement. That's a disappointed smile on Banks' face. Perhaps he felt the victory was his. Good tenacity from Jefferson. Jefferson keeping his composure, Xing through his arms, and then getting the rear naked choke finish after defending the choke attempt from Banks.
You know, if Banks would have, if he would have did a crunch maneuver in that guillotine, it would have locked it in a lot tighter, but him leaning his back allowed Jefferson to get his neck out and body free to get the finish ultimately at the end.
Here's Jason Nivens.
Ladies and gentlemen, this bout has ended. 2 minutes and 54 seconds of the first round. Your winner by tap out, rear naked choke, out of the red corner, Stefan Jefferson!
Stefan can smile, you know, he just won. You gotta understand.
He was all business entering, and he's all business exiting. Stefan Jefferson, not without adversity, but showing real character and showing good skill on the ground, finishing with that tight rear naked choke. Tonight's fight replay is presented by Major Pack, and there is the ending.
Man, he had the rear naked choke in. He extended his opponent out almost completely flat. Did a fantastic job. I mean, right here, he did a good job of controlling the posture on top, keeping his body pressure in forward. He did a great job of defending the guillotine. You know, again, Banks put his shoulders on the mat when he was in the guillotine instead of curling up. But Stefan knows where he's at inside these positions, and this is where he strives and builds, and that is why he got that highlight reel finish.
The winner by way of first round rear naked choke with just 6 seconds remaining in the opening round. Stefan Jefferson defeats Michael Banks. Coming up in just over 50 minutes from now, top of the hour, that is 10 p.m. U.S. Canadian Eastern Time, 9 p.m. local time here in Independence, Missouri. Our main card begins FAC 7. The only way to watch it is on UFC Fight Pass. 7 pro fights, and we culminate with our main event, 6-0 rapidly emerging prospect David Onama versus the hard-hitting, the very tenacious Mike Plazzola. That's set at the catch weight of 150 pounds.
Well, I'm very excited for this UFC Fight Pass coming up. As I said, Isaac Dolgarian and Sam Hernandez is going to be one of the biggest fights on the card to show the next prospects that's up and coming. You also have the heavy hitters over here, Mikey England and McDowell. I'm ready to rock on UFC Fight Pass at 9.
David Onama, born in Uganda, now based in Kansas City, Missouri. Most definitely a prospect to watch. Feels that he is closing in on something that you have, a coveted roster spot in the Ultimate Fighting Championship, Julian.
Man, he has every tool to get there. He has every tool to make it there. And tonight, he's got to just show it and show that he belongs there. You know, he has a tough opponent coming up, standing across the cage. But David's got what it takes, I believe.
His opponent, Mike Plazzola, a veteran of Victory Fighting Championships, told us in our fighter meeting, if I can take Onama to the ground, the fight will be mine. huge belief in his power punches and in his submission game for Mike Plazzola.
Here's the thing, Plazzola knows that going against David Onama, that if he gets a victory tonight, or whoever gets a victory tonight, can get an opportunity to get on the Contender Series or get a short notice call up there to get into the UFC and get himself a title right there, or a spot on the roster.
Our co-main event this evening, FAC 7 live on UFC Fight Pass, beginning top of the hour, set at 155 pounds. Solo Hatley Jr., 8-3 in pro MMA, 3-0 in pro boxing, as he faces the LFA and CES veteran Darius Estelle.
Man, these guys are going to bring the heat. We've already seen what the bigger weights do on this card, and I'm just excited to see which highlight reel we're going to create with these guys coming in here. You never know. It's like a mystery box with them, but you know you're going to get excitement.
Both fighters feel that they have the superior striking. Hatley, the belief in his technical boxing. Estelle, the belief in his hand speed. That is our co-main event of the evening on this absolutely stacked FAC 7 card. Again, 7 fights in total, beginning top of the hour, live on UFC Fight Pass. You're with us watching worldwide the prelims of FAC 7 from Independence, Missouri, just outside of Kansas City on MMA Futures and on MMA Futures YouTube channel. This is your home for all FAC prelims. So our pro card exclusively on UFC Fight Pass for all Fighting Alliance Championship events, and our prelims exclusively on MMAFutures.com and on MMA Futures YouTube channel. Six AMI fights this evening. We are through 5. We've had 4 finishes, and we are now set for our AMI main event. Back we go to Jason Nivens.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's bring out our next fighters. Your first one out of the blue corner, Cesar Morales.
Cesar Morales set to enter the cage.
And his opponent fighting out of the red corner, Vince Anderson.
bantamweight, Cesar Morales versus Vince Anderson. Our tale of the tape is presented by Major PAC.
If you guys look right here, the age difference, again, is going to be very, very huge. I mean, we're at a big jump, almost 20 years, and I wonder if this is going to be a huge factor in this fight.
To get our final amateur bout of the evening started, we send it back to Jason Nivens.
This bantamweight bout is brought to you by Major PAC, Kansas City's first cannabis culture company, highlighting the cannabis industry through health, business, sports, and entertainment. Fighting out of the blue corner, Cesar Morales! And fighting out of the red corner, Vince Anderson! Your referee for this fight is Nick Nolte.
Referee Nick Nolte starts this fight, round number 1. Tonight's fight clock is presented by Hoy Excavating. Black trunks for Cesar Morales, blue trunks for Vince Anderson. Big swings early, there's the body kick. Heavy walk down pressure from Morales. Anderson already on his bike, takes that body kick. Now inside pressure, counter knee from Anderson. Big knee to the head, loses his balance, and Morales pounces. Looking for the triangle immediately is Anderson. Trying to slam his way out is Cesar Morales. Trying to reposition now in the triangle, making it tighter is Vince Anderson.
Vince Anderson just needs to hook the leg. If he hooks the leg, he'll get the angle. That angle will cause the finish. All he needs to pull down on the head as well. And there's the leg hook. Just pull down on the head, and
Morales looking to stack and punch his way out, and there's the pressure now. The downward pull on the head of Morales from Anderson. Trying to relock his legs even tighter on the triangle attempt. Slamming his way out again.
going for the arm bar.
He has a win, but beat WBR. The tap from Cesar Morales and the win for Vince Anderson.
What impressive right there. Great transitions.
Explosive from Vince Anderson in victory. Triangle transition. Morales trying to slam his way out. Anderson seizing the opportunity to move to the armbar, and that's what draws the submission from Cesar Morales. This is our final Emmy bout of the night, but remember, still 7 fights headed your way. It's our pro card, FAC 7, beginning top of the hour, just over 40 minutes from now. The only way to watch is on UFC Fight Pass. Nice moment between these two fighters. There's Bellator and Strikeforce veteran Rudy Bears. An absolute fixture on the Kansas City MMA scene. You see Bears consoling his fighter, Cesar Morales. Good explosive ground game from Vince Anderson in victory.
Ladies and gentlemen, this bout has ended at 1 minute and 2 seconds of the first round. Your winner, tap out, armbar, out of the red corner, Vince Anderson!
Julian is with the winner.
All right, everyone, I'm sitting here with your winner, Vince Anderson. You just took this on short notice. Tell me how you're feeling right now.
I'm feeling like I'm ready to go have a party.
Ready to go out and party? That'll be a fantastic time. You get to deserve it with that victory you have. Talk me through this transition you went through. You guys started out with a bang. You got him to the ground, and you ended up throwing up the triangle into an armbar. Tell me how you got through that.
That guy right over there whooped my ass on the ground like a month ago. So I had to learn some jiu-jitsu.
You learned some jiu-jitsu. Was he a coach? Was he a friend?
Coach, Travis Ford, you're about to watch him whoop some ass.
That's amazing. Travis Ford is awesome. He's going to start off our main event. What's next for you in the fight game?
I'm going to keep winning. But for now, I got to go watch Travis.
There you go, buddy. There you have it. Your winner, Vince Anderson.
Vince Anderson entered the cage with a smile on his face, and he exits with the exact same expression. In our final AMI bout of the evening, the winner by way of first-round submission, Vince Anderson defeats Cesar Morales. So 6 AMI fights are now completed. From those 6, we saw 5 submissions. This is high-level amateur MMA, as always, Julian, for Fighting Alliance Championship.
Man, so far, all the fights have been a technician. It's been a knockout. It's been a finish. We're looking at people that are building their careers to the pro level, and those pros are going to feed into the UFC or bigger platforms, and it is amazing card. It is amazing highlight reels for tonight.
Top of the hour, our main card begins. We're just outside of Kansas City, Missouri, in Independence at Cable Dahmer Arena, the home of Fighting Alliance Championship. FAC 7, the only way to watch is on UFC Fight Pass. So again, 6 AMI bouts this evening, 5 finishes, and we expect the finishes that continue with our pro card. Julian, we talk about our main event coming up. David Onama is a real prospect, enters at 6-0, facing a very accomplished fighter, 16-win Mike Plazzola.
Man, this fight that's coming up with David and Plazuma, we have experience, we have power, we have excitement, we have prospects, we have everything you want in a fight. As you can see from the rest of the card, it has been best matchups for these opponents. They have been great. They're highlights. They're going far. You have to be intelligent to get the finish, and that's what these two are going to have to play with, Plazzola and Onama. Someone's going to have to make the smart move. If you make a mistake, if you make something, the other can capitalize on it. They've been in here. They put time in. They know what they need and how to get the finish.
Our co-main event, Darius Estelle versus Solo Hatley Jr. Estelle, an LFA and CES veteran. Hatley, a Bellator and LFA veteran with a pro boxing record of 3-0. Our co-main set at 155 pounds.
These boys, I've said it, they're going to come out swinging. They're going to come out getting the highlight reel. They want to be put on UFC Fight Pass's page as one of the KOs of the year or the finishes of the year. And they have every tool in their arsenal to be able to complete that, you know, that picture. They have the jiu-jitsu, they have the striking, they have the cage awareness, and they have the teams to be able to do that.
We will open top of the hour, Travis Ford versus Marshall Kemp in the lightweight division. Sam Hernandez versus the pro debuter Isaac Dolgarian, the cousin of WEC and Bellator veteran LC Davis, who will be in his corner. That at 145 pounds. Then to the welterweight division, Johnny Pantoja versus John O'Brien. We stay at 170 pounds, Caleb Crump versus Zach Long. And then welterweights, Brian McDowell versus Mikey England. Our co-main, Darius Estelle versus Solo Hatley Jr., again at 155 pounds. And our main event, Mike Plazzola versus David Onama. We'll see you top of the hour on UFC Fight Pass.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for intermission. Hit the concession stand, the restroom, smoke them if you got them, and we come back. We're worldwide on UFC Fight Pass.